Welcome to Ready for Future Ride. Overview. The 2026 BMW iX is a tech-forward mid-size luxury EV with fast and fun driving dynamics and plenty of space for your family, and enough range to mitigate anxiety. Pros: rapid acceleration, enjoyable handling dynamics, respectable driving range, spacious and handsome interior. Cons: steep base price. Rankings. The 2026 BMW iX's number 3 ranking is based on its score within the luxury electric SUVs category. Currently, the BMW iX has a score of 9.0 out of 10, which is based on our evaluation of 32 pieces of research and data elements using various sources. 2026 BMW iX Review. Introduced to the 2022 model year, the BMW iX has a polarizing exterior design with its bucktooth grille and awkwardly sloped tail end. If you can get over the unique aesthetics, you have a nicely appointed vehicle in the emerging mid-size luxury electric SUV segment. Similar in size to the BMW X5, the 2026 iX sits at the top of the brand's I-Series lineup, which includes the i4 and i7 sedans, and is the only electric SUV the automaker currently offers. The OG vehicle in this segment is the Tesla Model X, but with other players in the market, its dominance has dwindled. Among the newcomers, you have the Audi Q8 e-tron, Mercedes-Benz EQS, and Cadillac Lyriq. None of these SUVs, including the iX, have adopted the Tesla North American Charging Standard NACS, but all of them, except the 9 notably, offer a manufacturer-supported NACS adapter. All of these SUVs have screen-heavy, tech-dominant interiors, so it's worth noting that neither the Model X nor the Lyriq offer Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. My test vehicle was the 2026 iX xDrive 45, which is a new trim for this model year and lowers the starting price to $75,150, though the as-tested price climbed quickly with a multitude of expensive options, $92,775 as tested. My time in the iX was spent zipping around the city streets of Chicago with a couple of jaunts out to the suburbs. The overall comfort, combined with its nimble handling, left me thinking this is a great vehicle for both urban and suburban dwellers. 2025 versus 2026 BMW 9. What's new? The 2026 BMW iX gets a mild refresh for this model year, including new grille and headlight designs. Additional changes include increased power and range, a new M Sport package, and a revised trim lineup. The new base model, the 9 xDrive 45, is about $10,000 cheaper than last year's entry-level trim, and the upper 2 trims are now the 9 xDrive 60 and 9 M70 xDrive. Pricing. The 2026 BMW iX comes standard with all-wheel drive and dual electric motors across the lineup, and the power tuning varies by trim from 402 horsepower xDrive 45 to 536 horsepower xDrive 60 to 650 horsepower M70. I'd opt for the base xDrive 45, $75,150, because of the nice blend of power and range, and you can add all of the premium amenities your heart desires. Just expect to pay handsomely for them, though. But if you crave more power and range, the xDrive 60, $88,500, might hit your sweet spot. The M70, $111,500, offers the most athletic performance, but it doesn't come cheap. Performance and driving feel 9.4/10. The 2026 iX offers 3 power options, delineated by trim. All 3 models have all-wheel drive and dual all-electric motors, but the vehicles all put more power to the rear wheels. The front motors all deliver 255 horsepower, but the rear motors deliver 268, 308, and 483 horsepower, respectively, for the xDrive 45, xDrive 60, and M70. Combined output for each powertrain rings in at 402, 536, and 650 horsepower. BMW does its best to mitigate the heaviness of the battery and lack of connection to the road. Even though I had the base model, I can't speak to how well it handles in basic form because the test vehicle added the dynamic handling package, which includes rear-wheel steering and a height-adjustable air suspension. That said, people transitioning from a gas-fed vehicle wouldn't feel out of place in the iX. In addition to a quick off-the-line start, thanks to 516 pound-feet of instantaneous torque, The BMW steering was tight, and I had as much fun as you could in an SUV while entering a highway on-ramp. Passing maneuvers were downright gleeful, and without having tested the two higher-end models, I didn't feel any lack of power here. Plus, the air suspension handled the pockmarked and speed bump-riddled Chicago streets with reasonable smoothness. In terms of competition, the Audi Q8 e-tron is the most similar to the iX thanks to its sporty ride and handling. In comparison, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV and Cadillac Lyriq are a bit floaty, focusing on luxury and comfort. Fuel economy, June 7th, 10. This midsize 9 weighs more than 5,500 pounds, and the sticker sheet for our test vehicle said the EPA estimates it should get 85 miles per gallon equivalent in the city and 82 miles per gallon equivalent on the highway, 84 miles per gallon equivalent combined. The Lyriq gets a better fuel economy with 86 miles per gallon equivalent to 89 miles per gallon equivalent combined, and the Q8 e-tron is less efficient with estimates ranging from 74 miles per gallon equivalent to 78 miles per gallon equivalent combined, depending on tire size. With mostly city driving and a couple of speedy moments on the highway, we found that the BMW iX xDrive 45 did better than the brand's estimates. I averaged 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour during the test period, which works out to about 91 miles per gallon equivalent. BMW iX driving range and charging. For 2026, the BMW 9 uses more efficient semiconductor components, which translates to a decent range boost. Comparing the 2025 iX xDrive 50 to the 2026 iX xDrive 60, maximum range increases from 309 miles to 364 miles. Max range of the 9 xDrive 45 is 312 miles, and you'll see a maximum of 303 miles for the M70. According to BMW, maximum DC fast charging speed for the 9 will depend on the model. BMW says the iX xDrive 45 will charge at speeds up to 175 kilowatts, and both the xDrive 60 and M70 will charge at speeds up to 195 kilowatts. During my test, I made a pit stop at an Electrify America station in the back of a Target parking lot while I waited out some rain. There, I observed a steady charging speed of 168 kilowatts, with a peak charge speed of 172 kilowatts. I added 30%, going from 43% to 73% in 16 minutes. BMW estimates you should be able to go from a 10% to 80% charge in 34 minutes. Interior and comfort, 8.7/10. Even though there are seat belts for 5, the 2026 BMW iX will really only seat 4 comfortably, unless the backseat middle passenger is the size of a 10-year-old. Even then, it will be tight. Trust me, I'm the size of a 10-year-old and felt a bit squished in that seat. Overall, the front and rear seats are comfortable, with the right balance of firmness and cushioning. Since I'm on the petite side of the spectrum, I have my husband, who's about 5'8" and 200 pounds, verify he also liked the seat comfort, which he did. For a vehicle in this class, you get generous front and rear headroom. It bests all competitors in the front, and only the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV gets better rear headroom. However, legroom is a different story, as most rivals offer more. Even so, the BMW has 38.9 inches of rear legroom, which should be fine for an average-size adult. Cargo and storage may 4th-10. Even though the rear end of the BMW 9 is oddly shaped, the SUV's more upright angle and wide opening help it maximize cargo space, and it bests its competitors by a wide margin. Behind the second row, you have 35.5 cubic feet of cargo space, and with those seats folded flat, you jump up to 77.9 cubic feet. The closest competitor is the EQS SUV with 74 cubic feet, with the rear seats folded. I like the underfloor storage in the cargo area, which can hold your charging cord, a tire inflator kit, as well as a few other small items. This space is especially important since, unlike a lot of electric vehicles, the iX does not have a front trunk. In the front seats, you do have a floating console, which allows you to store a small bag on the floor in front of it, thus keeping it off the passenger seat. But the design of the console area is a bit awkward, with the wireless device charger and cup holders placed in a hard-to-access area. Infotainment and technology, 8.5/10. The 2026 BMW iX follows a large screen trend and features a curved display that contains a 12.3-inch gauge cluster and a 14.9-inch infotainment screen. It includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as a native navigation system. Up front, you have a wireless phone charger and 2 USB-C charge ports, plus an additional 2 USB-C charge ports in the rear row. The 9 comes standard with a Harman Kardon sound system, and the top-tier option is a 30-speaker Bowers and Wilkins stereo. While I typically opt for Apple Maps or Waze for directions while driving, I appreciated BMW's available augmented reality video navigation in unfamiliar locales. This system brings up a camera display on the infotainment screen and shows you which lane to be in and where to turn. Additional available amenities include partially automated highway driving, soft closed doors, a head-up display, an in-car camera for security or driving selfies, and an electrochromatic panoramic roof. I generally like the tech on the 2026 BMW iX, but there are a lot of screens to scan through at times. The lack of buttons and dials can be off-putting as well, and the ambient lighting in the test vehicle was a bit excessive. It was bright enough to cause reflections on the windows, creating visual distraction at night. Thankfully, you can control the brightness and even turn it off,